What's up, Shining Lights? This is In with the editorial crew of Shining Otaku, and rolling right into it. Today, we're gonna go ahead and look into the Indian perspective on manga today. Let's see. Go ahead, transition here. As just to give you guys a heads up, I use DuckDuckGo, of course, to do a lot of my research, just to avoid Google's Google really tracking things slash covering any information I might be trying to really dig into. But that aside, I want to go ahead and where's the one I'm looking for? Obviously, I got multiple tabs up for this particular topic, kind of diving right into it. So so one of the things I wanted to touch on first is the company Animex, right? I generally don't want to start off with kind of getting too much into anime when it comes to the topic of manga, but for India's case, it's important that I address this because they're in a sense in the same predicament, if not kind of a more earlier stage that we were seeing, where, and you're gonna see a lot of this as I go into the info here, but basically where they're still kind of their society as a whole is adjusting to the idea of manga and anime, more specifically, not being so much of a children's cartoon and actually being viable or legible for adult content. So here it says Animex is an Indian TV channel. Animex was an Indian TV channel, Sony Pictures Entertainment. It was operated and broadcast from Singapore by Animex Asia and distributed by Sony Pictures Networks India PVT. I have to look up what that means actually. LTD. It started Hindi dub of anime for some time, and their age demographic was 7 to 14 years. Then it only shows English dub with some Japanese with English sub, and also the first animation channel that targets the age 15 to 25 demographic. It was the only channel in India to simulcast anime in the same week and on the same day as Japan. Animex ceased broadcasting in India on regular television and was replaced by Sony Yay on the 18th of April in 2017. Sony Pictures Networks then made Animex Asia HD available as live channel on its Indian digital platform Sony Live on the 8th of May 2020. The Animex Asia HD live channel ceased to be available to watch on Sony Live, likely due to the acquisition of Animex in Vietnam by KC Global Media. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the full wiki page on this, just so you have a bit of a glimpse of the information here. But I mean, you're already seeing where this technically was India's exposure to anime. This was the primary source right here. Before this, there from what I saw, and I'm gonna jump to a few things that'll showcase that, and you'll see more of it come up. But Animex was basically the go-to, for many of them. It was their Crunchyroll in a sense, or if we're gonna go into illegal territory, it was it could have been a go-to source like Kiss Anime, but more in a legal stance, it was like the Crunchyroll that we have here in America. It allowed a lot of individuals in India to get exposure to a lot of the popular anime that we see today. And mind you, this was, what did it list? 2004, I believe. It's kind of a bit easier for me to look on this page. It launched in 2004 and ended 2017. So literally just three years ago. They lost Animex, kind of got it back with Sony coming in and using Sony Live. You could basically get the Animex channel, and from there, they it's funny enough, this year they ended up losing that channel on Sony Live due to it being acquired by KC Global Media, a company in Vietnam. Not so sure where that's going now that it's been acquisition by that. But that aside, we're already seeing here where they've gotten exposure to anime in this sense. There's a lot of fans of it, and well, I clicked off by mistake. And I mean, we're going to see much more of this as I touch into it. That's pretty much the Animex HD channel. The reason I brought up Animex first is because I was checking out a video here where it was titled "Manga and Anime in India." Just because I'm more so trying to dig into, of course, the core community in a sense, and figure out where their stance is on manga and originally created manga within their country. But this video from Tech Shout, the Tech Shout channel, actually showcased what's their name, Sanjay and Sri Vidya. I'm sorry if I butchered the names here. I'll go ahead and highlight right there. That's their names. But I wasn't able to find too much info on who they were specifically. They might just have general knowledge on the industry. I don't know their professions, but in the video here, I can't really play it just due to reasons with YouTube. So I mean, I'm just really kind of flipping through this. This is kind of the two individuals right here. Let's see if I can fast forward to the gentleman. Get a good shot of them. But yeah, these are kind of the two individuals here, and they go on about just a few things within the industry in and of itself over there in India. I did draw down a bit of notes. I'm sorry, I can't exactly directly show you guys, but they go on to talk about how again, going back to what I was mentioning earlier, how a lot of Indians are, when you ask them about whether or not they're fans of manga and anime, they're skeptical to answer truthfully, and that has a lot to do with their culture over there. But anime and manga is frowned upon, kind of in their mainstream situation over there, and that's not too far off from what we were kind of seeing over here. It still exists to this day, but definitely it was a lot more evident some time ago, where it's either laughed at or looked at as basically being nothing but cartoons. And even and I even recall growing up myself, my parents would look at that and think like, oh, you enjoying your cartoons? And I'm like, well, it's anime, it's not just a cartoon. But yeah, it's basically, that's basically what we're looking at. However, in India, I would argue that it's a bit if not much more strict on the matter there. And again, that just comes to do with their culture. So they also end up touching on Animex, and that's where I ended up getting a little bit more curious about Animex in general, and this is a great transition into this. Animex basically, they go on how it was kind of the go-to for a lot of Indians here, or there, I should say. However, one of the issues with it was that there was a lot of series where their translations didn't really capture all the meaning that the anime intended, let's say in their native language. And while we saw quite a bit of that here from their taking this video, it seems it was a lot more apparent when trying to translate to their languages there in India. But they, they agree both wholeheartedly that it needs more exposure. That anime and manga over in India needs more exposure. And you're going to see more of that same thought kind of when I touch on other individuals here, because even when we get into the comment section, we're seeing where there's a gentleman with wants Animex back, but again, these are like 3 years ago, because this video came out 2007. This was 2007. So already around that time period, we're looking at basically some individuals some years ago touching on how there isn't enough exposure here in or there in India. And even a few individuals here kind of touching on one of the aspects of it I was going to get to, where Bollywood over there is actually the bigger thing. And again, mirroring here in America, it's kind of a similar thing when anime is kind of a topic with almost anybody else, or your parents, or just anybody that wasn't within the anime community. There was more attention to kind of what was mainstream from Hollywood and movies and popping around then. Same thing here. Bollywood is pretty much the go-to. I even kind of checked out some of the current news going on in India, and even when it comes to like the COVID-19 cases, or basically the pandemic cases going on. The media is painting the picture right now that people are more concerned about basically I believe it was a Bollywood star named forgive me if I'm butchering the name, Sheen Rajput. Anyway, committed or I can't really say that word, but the gentleman ended up popping the balloon, or popping his own balloon, if you will. But that the whole situation around that, and the conspiracies and allegations surrounding the incident with that actor is kind of limelight right now, as opposed to any of the current world events right there. And again, that mirrors a lot of what goes on here in America, so that probably says a lot with the kind of the relationship. But bringing it back, manga and anime here in India definitely is something that a lot of Indians were really striving for at this time. And you kind of look at the age of some of these comments, and this is just a year ago. This gentleman is saying anime has now a future in India. So that's showing that it is getting the exposure there. It is slowly growing. And I mean, you have all of these comments over the 13 years that this video has come up, and people are still eventually finding it 10 years, 9 years, 7 years in. And I did go ahead and kind of look into Tech Shout, the channel that put out this video. Not much to really note on them. I mean, there is much, but not in the limelight of what we're basically trying to do with this particular topic in our channel overall. But they dive into, as you can see here, a lot of tech news reviews, And in the case of that particular video, they go in depth with certain current topics, but they're not really primarily fixated on our industry of sorts. So yeah, just had to briefly note on that. And I'm gonna go ahead and transition here to an article, just to kind of give more emphasis on how influenced India is right now. It's kind of good to see that they basically have a whole space here of sorts for dedicated to manga. If you even see this picture here, but this is an article by Preetha Banerjee, Manga in the Heart of Delhi. Again, any names I'm butchering, I forgive me. I will work on that. A walk through the fantastical, colorful manga paradise that is the Japan Foundation Library. In New Delhi's Lajpat Nagar, barely 15 steps away from Mulchan Metro Station, is a not-so-large space filled to the brim with gems for the lover of Japanese comics/manga. This is Japan Foundation Library, founded in 2007. It's home to a whole host of Japanese DVDs, audiobooks, cookbooks, and lots more. The foundation, that looks like any other building, is a fantastical, colorful world. So I'm going to skip ahead along here. The cafe, which makes up a fourth of the entire library, is adorned with posters of animated videos by Hayao Miyazaki and other classic manga titles. If you're here alone, no worries, for you will find yourself in the company of life-size standee of young anime characters with holes for your face to fit in during photography. And they kind of go into explaining more about the library building. But primarily they talk about how the library basically has a dedicated section specifically for manga, and just in that alone, that's pretty huge for them to have something dedicated like that, considering how strict the cultural social standard is around it, from what I've seen in various other articles. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump around a bit again. You can check out this article. I'm gonna put links to all of these sources down in the description below. But moving on. So I ended up finding another video in regards to an original manga that was actually announced this year. If I'm correct, I saw it posted in a store. Yeah, after I saw it on here, I ended up looking a bit into it. Saw it posted in the store here. Not sure if it was updated in here. Let's say last year. I only know that, again, that video's out, and I see that the comments on here suggest this might have been pushed a month ago. Again, it could have been uploaded on here sooner, or a bit later out, but I'm inclined to believe that this was put up pretty much a year, or within this year. Even checking out the description here, I'm not really seeing. Here we go. Yeah, see, this was uploaded a month ago. So yeah, it looks like between July and September. But yeah, going back to this video here. So again, I can't really actually go through this for reasons regarding YouTube policies and showcasing other people's videos or playing them through. But yeah, it's a series called Kenji. Again, if you like to check it out, you can go into the description below. Kind of examples of a bit of the work here as they're promoting. And I'm all about kind of the smaller guys basically getting themselves out there. But this is kind of a start to India basically pushing their own initiative, basically showing their own works. Like, hey, we love this craft. We want to go ahead and do it ourselves. And that's a great thing for manga within that country of sort, in a sense. I'm still seeing kind of a problem. I'm still seeing a few things that a few issues where I'm seeing a few aspects that are more Japanese culture within the work, but again, this is a start for them, and it's a strong direction for India as a whole, really, in this craft. The stories by Kartikeya Chan and artists by Rashi Harikari. Again, butcher names, I apologize, but I'll put the links in the description below. We go down to the comment section. So I did try to go down in the comment section to see if there was a really bunch on it. There wasn't really too many people that commented on it, but I did notice in the description here, and of course it's in the title of the video, that this was submitted for the Japan's Tezuka manga contest. So I was a bit curious whether or not there was more to this. So I did go ahead and click on the channel, Anime Assembly. They seem to be a newer channel of sorts, kind of highlighting the community, and they're Indian based, that I found out. So this is kind of a huge thing with again pushing the initiative in India specifically, and basically creating a go-to place to get your news / highlights on anime and influence for their audience base. So in here, I did end up finding one video. They seem to mostly touch on anime that's already out, as opposed to original mangas per se. So that's kind of the only thing where I'm like, they're still in the fan minded stages of this. I'll be keeping an eye out for them just to see if they see where they go or progress as they go on. But right now, this is the other video that kind of touches on the Japan's manga contest. And they touch on, Kenji as well in this. So you can see a bit of the color work as you go through it. But so this particular series is kind of what the main thing they really were trying to highlight as far as the original series. It's the only one from what I see, they're highlighting as entering the Japan's Tezuka manga contest. But I noticed scrolling down the comment section for this one that make sure I didn't forget anything here. I noticed down here that there actually are quite a few individuals that know that they're also entering this particular competition. Ken Yuki and Bakuman04 over here. I did end up checking out their channels. Ken Yuki, he had an Instagram posted up, so I will show that real quick just to highlight him, since he's pretty much up and coming here. This is kind of his works, but A lot of this is based off the story he's trying to submit, Cyber Dream. Yeah, Cyber Dream. I didn't see any work, the work posted up for Bakuman 04 and Conquest Comics. I didn't go really pressing to find his series. It's Xenotype Pursuit and X Road Strive. Only because I found out, kind of going his channel, he's more Australian based. So, there it is if you want to go ahead and look into his stuff. But really trying to keep it to the Indian, those are the Indian craft here. But you can see here that it's there. The spark is there. They're basically in the stages of really trying to of getting something going within the industry over there. However, again, it's there's going to be what I perceive a lot of trial and error. To me, they're still in the beginning stages that we're kind of in here in America with really trying to understand the difference between manga as kind of a hobby versus manga as a professional craft. I think there was something else I ended up noticing here that kind of concerned me in that regard as well. Yeah, let me see if I can find it. Was it here? Yes. So, kind of going back to what's his name? Kenyuki. Yeah, going back to Kenyuki's page here. I noticed that in the about section here, he mentions we admire the anime and manga culture from very depth of our heart. Our objective is to bring this culture in our country, India, as well. So we're seeing where their mindset is still kind of in the fan / hobbyist stage of this, and I mean we're pretty much in the same state of mind too, where we're fixated on trying to bring manga in as bringing the Japanese culture into our culture, and not so much looking at it as originating using the manga style of sense to highlight our own culture. So you have to think again, these are stories, and how can you take the story of someone else when you haven't experienced it or researched enough to know about their particular culture, if that makes sense. Not to mention they're popular because we're seeing their particular culture and we're influenced by that. Well, it will work vice versa if but I can go on that all day in kind of a whole different discussion, but they're pretty much right along with us in the stage of basically trying to figure out their bearings and really get things going as far as a strong community of sorts. And we get more of that. There's actually some forums here that I dove into while I was researching this topic, where so this user here was saying that they were Indian. I'm not sure if it was this particular person was actually male or female, but we're just gonna keep it vague on that. But they say, I'm naturally interested in manga about India or with Indian characters in it. I'm so eager to find manga like this that I'll be okay with any genre, really. I can only think of Saito Chio's Waltz in a White Dress, about a half Indian spy and the Indian prince from Emma. Please recommend any others to me, and thank you for your time. I'm not going to go through all of these comments, but they pretty much all hint at the fact that there's not really a lot for the that references Indian characters or basically highlights the Indian culture in and of itself. There's not a story that centralizes, let's say, an Indian character. There are plenty of series, or there's a fair bit of series that includes an Indian character and may touch on the culture as a kind of a setting, a side setting in the series. And if there's a few that actually make India the main setting, if you will. But this is just not that many of those. So, we're I think this forum post was 2011. Yeah, see, they're already shot that there's an Indian otaku here. Yeah, so they go on to eventually recommend trying to get a community going for this, but that's where we're basically seeing the pretty much the foundation being laid down for more original Indian books to come out. They don't really have a term for it from what I see yet, but just for now, it's something that that eventually is going to be a bigger thing, and the market's pretty much fresh to really have a surge going on with that community if someone were to play their cards right. So that's why good on a few of these channels and these creators for jumping on it right away. Will they be the one to really make a surge? Well, that all depends if they stick it out / they get the correct professional help. But kind of touching on it here again, a place for Indian otakus. They touch on it here, basically getting a community together all over again. They say it's coming true. The anime community in India is growing really quickly, and it's something all Indian weebs are happy about. But for the longest amount of time, we haven't had a place to meet for Indian otakus. But that's changing now. Here we are. We spend a considerable amount of time making this server. It's fully customized with everything weebs can ask for, but it's generally made for Indian otakus. Non-Indians are allowed as well. Once a weeb, always a weeb. Please join us. We are trying our best to gather all Indian otakus we can. If you are one and want to hang out with others like you, now you can. They go on to post a link. And some of the comments here aside, the and what I mean by some of the comments, it's there's a comment over here where they're saying it's nice, but on the privacy note, Discord only for gamers. It's not good for us chatting there, due to the r/privacy. Privacy directly discards Discord. Basically, they were getting at recommending this to be a group in Telegram as opposed to Discord. And Discord, it is primarily more so for gamers, a community to talk about anime on there exclusively. Even from my personal experience, it doesn't really work out often too much. It's nice as an added channel on an already established gamer channel, but that's a whole nother topic. I digress. That aside, this is still a good sign that there's still a lot of interest in it. And this was just posted 3 months ago. I don't know if you noticed that, but we're just 3 months ago. So we're still seeing that. Okay, what was it, 9 years ago? And in that other forum, 2011, they were already surging, looking to come together as a community. And here, we're still seeing that they're still looking for more communities. It's basically the interest is still there, still rising, but the community isn't quite united yet. So there's a lot of similarities with kind of the current condition here in relation to ours here in the U.S. You even have certain movements going on. I believe, when is this article? I don't think I saw it. Here we go, 2019. So yeah, this was just last year. They've already got the Indian anime movement going on. This goes back to me kind of saying that we're still kind of in the fan mentality of it right now, where as fans we really want to overhear, but with the coming of fans, there of course come the interest of those that want a profession. So it's not surprising that you see a lot of that you're starting to see more original creators, and I'm glad to see Kenji with the series Kenji as an original work that they're actually producing and trying to put out there. And we switch over to this article here, basically highlighting that the manga is found that the manga is getting rooted in India. It does go on to briefly kind of talk about cosplay in a sense, but it does highlight how a lot of the manga books are getting clubs and space in various vendors, but the influence is strong over there, or it's getting stronger, I should say. And again, it's kind of really a 50-50 right now, but if they're it's basically slowed down right now. It's 50-50 whether or not they're going to get to a point where they're going to be more into the professional aspect of it, / get the training and attention necessary to make that craft really viable within the communities they eventually will set up. But one highlighted hope I noticed for that, or another hope for that, is that down here in this article, it's kind of sad that this is kind of the only moment where they really address the original mangaka for the comics in India. But here in this section, Jazel Hamavizir and the twins Krishna Banerjee and Balram Banerjee. These are 3 creators right here. 3 original creators of manga. They're putting in the time. They found interest as fans first. I haven't really looked into what works they put out there yet, but they're pretty much within our current young age demographic. We're talking, they're all basically around the 27-year-old framework. So probably similar to myself starting this out pretty much 19 or 20, where we're seeing where they got an interest young as a fan, and now they're getting into it. They're encouraged to get into it more professionally. And again, going back to what's his name? Going back to what Ken Yuki, I believe it was his name. Well, that was his channel name. Was saying. I forget what the that might be one of the creators here, but we're gonna go with his pen channel name right now. But going back to what he's saying in the description here, the objective to bring the culture and their culture India as well. It's gonna be a toss of whether they really get this, but the thing is, the culture has already placed itself in their culture. the fact that they've gotten people to love their work, the fact that manga from Japan or the Japanese have gotten people to love their work to the extent that they want a profession in it, has already strongly emphasized how they've rooted themselves in other cultures here. Their culture is already in your culture in India. So you know, Ken Yuki, I mean, if you were checking out this video, you are an example in and of yourself that the culture is already there. The objective from here as a profession is really to highlight your culture using this craft, that this is really what you want to do. So that's kind of the next step I'm really going to be looking for India to really jump on with this. So we're gonna wrap it up there, guys. What to really take from this is really, it's more so just give you more diverse knowledge on what's out there, right? Many people probably didn't think India had this much influence. Many people probably thought, hey, manga's easily accessible to everybody, or everybody's got equal opportunity, or who knows what your thought process was on it. But for those that are simple fans of anime and manga, I mean, hey, you can see that basically it's building in India. There are people out there actually trying to get these communities going, actually trying to basically get it increased out there. So, if for whatever reason you're discouraged or something, or worried, it's there. Network, you'll find those communities. They're obviously building, trying to make something happen. But as a professional, really take in kind of the situation here, and evaluate yourself, or evaluate your craft / what you're getting into this industry to further progress yourself. Let me really clarify myself when I say this, because I'm addressing this to all of those trying to get into this as a profession. For those of you in America, I mean, obviously you can see that here that there is more competition coming, / the market is growing. So I mean, take this as you will, as the opportunity. Take this as you will, as if you don't work on getting it out now, if you don't work on progression, trying to progress yourself in the craft, and in a way, in a structured way that'll actually be accredited, you're just gonna fall behind, because this is just in recent years. They're going to be slow going, yes, but this is again showcasing that the industry, or interest in the profession for that industry is sparking in other countries as well, not just our own. Here in America, you may have some avenues that'll give you a better chance of really pushing yourself more so than those in India. You may not. Again, it depends on how both parties play their cards, and you do not want to be on the end where you're slacking on your cards. So I'll leave it at that. So everyone, be sure to go ahead and leave a like, subscribe if you're interested in seeing more of the content. Definitely a comment below letting me know your thoughts on manga in India, where you think it's going, or if it even is growing, or even just the current situation. I'd love to hear the thoughts on others that are original creators, more importantly, over in India. But but also be sure to keep a lookout on our content here. There's definitely going to be some. There's definitely going to be a couple. There's going to be a couple more releases coming out as far as our main stuff, our main series. We've got two big ones in the works right now, so definitely check it out. Anyway, I will catch you all later. This is N, signing out.